So I'm reading this book called The Richest Man Who Ever Lived. King Solomon's Secret to Success, Wealth, and Happiness. There's so many good points in this book. I highly recommend you picking it up. But man, literally I'm reading it right now. Like I'm finishing it out. Like I only have about 65 pages left. But this one, it talks about greed, and this one really literally called me out. Here, I'll read it. In Proverbs 11:28, Solomon writes, "He that trusts in his riches shall fall." And then, unfortunately, the more money one makes, the more likely he is to become arrogant. He begins to think he can get away with more and more. He takes more risks. That's me. And when he falls hard. Damn. Right now, I just gonna elaborate with that. Like beginning of 2020 to mid 2021, I've made a decent amount of money without like working a regular 9 to 5 job. Practically, I've made money almost passively, with like 4 hours of work weekly. One point I was making $1,000 a week, and I feel like once you start making that much money, like a reminder, I was about like 18 years old at the time, and I feel like it's part of the journey as well. But yes, I have to accept the fact that I became arrogant with my decisions. I took things with face value, and I kind of just wing everything, and I just took things for granted, and I took so much risk. Like I took a lot of risk, which I still do think that you should take a lot of risk if you're really young, because you're not gonna learn these values and these lessons if you don't. So if you're in a situation where you feel like you're playing it safe right now, take some risk, because eventually you're going to take those risks. So it's better to start early and learn the hard things now, compared to like when you're pretty deep in your career and you make these tiny mistakes that's gonna cost you thousands of dollars or like millions of dollars. Like what this guy in the author is writing about is like he made some stupid mistake in his investments, and he lost about like $7.5 million, and that's a lot of money. And I'm not sure what year he wrote this book at, but counting inflation and stuff like that, it was probably like 20 mil, I don't know, like 12 million or something, the total money that he lost in the current value right now, dollar amount. So one of the things I would say is it's part of the journey, and personally for me, I'm guilty for me taking a lot of risk. Like I'm the type of guy, like I take my guts, like I trust in my guts, and I take those risks. So moving forward, I think one of the things that I'm going to implement more is doing my due diligence and doing my research about the person who I'm going to invest into, or certain business model that I'm interested to get into. I'm going to do my due diligence to research more into it before I invest my money in it. Or if I do invest my money into it, I would do more research about it, and like just be more aware of the things that I'm getting into, instead of like, oh, I trust this person and I just give it to him this money on. Yeah. So for you, like I feel like if you're starting in your journey, like in your career, or just trying to figure it out, especially for sure now, take a lot of risks. Especially, I'm pretty sure the people who's gonna be watching this is pretty young. Guess that's the niche that I'm going into. Like hopefully, like around teenagers, early 20s, and all that stuff, right? Trying to make it. So yeah, I still do suggest like take some risk, but be smart about it. Because this book's really good. But yeah, I mean, this is a quick story about like certain things that I did, I mean, now it felt hard, bro. Like it felt, I had to like take a step back, so to take 2 steps forward. So we have to learn the hard way. I feel like a lot of people need to learn the hard way instead of like trying to find the easy way out. But yeah, that's it for today's video. Be a creator, not a consumer. Make something, create something today that will inspire you and others. Peace.